Good morning, children. I am Suvarna. Today we are going to discuss about the second lesson, friction. We have learned about the various types of forces in the chapter force. We also have learned about the force of friction, which plays an important role in daily life. Let us learn in detail about this force in this chapter. Already we learned in first lesson force of friction. What is friction? Friction is the resistance to the movement of your body over the surface of another body. So already we learned in first chapter friction in detail about this force of friction in this chapter. First of all, force of friction and its types. Activity 1. First of all, identifying forces acting on your body and effect of frictional force. First of all, look at the picture. Children gently push a book on a horizontal floor as shown in given picture. Pushing the book. What do you observe, children? What do you observe, children, in this picture? You may observe that the book acquires a certain speed in the direction of push. So, however, the speed of the book gradually decreases and after some time it stops. Gently you push the book and after some time the speed of the book gradually decreases and after some time it stops. Because of why does the book stop after covering some distance? Why does the book stop after covering some distance? Is the book moving with uniform speed? Book moving with uniform speed? Why does the speed of the book change gradually? You know that the book is in non-uniform motion with respect to the floor. In the first chapter, we studied that non-uniform motion of a body takes place only when a net force acts on it. Non-uniform motion of a body takes place only when a net force acts on it. Uniform motion of a body, net force acts zero because of upward direction normal force and downward direction gravitational force are equal because of the book on the book net force equal to 0. How many forces act on the book when it is pushed on the floor? Let us examine the forces acting on the book. Two forces act on the book in the vertical direction given picture. All two forces act on the book. First one, look at the picture, children. They are first of all weight of the book W or gravitational force acting vertically down. So here in horizontal vertical direction, suppose the vertical direction two forces acting on the book. First of all weight. Weight means gravitational force. Second one normal force N or reaction force applied by the floor vertically up. So normal force vertically up and gravitational force vertically down. So as there is no change in motion of a book along the vertical direction, the net force acting on the book in the vertical direction is 0. So here vertical direction two forces acting on this book. One is normal force, other one is gravitational force. So in this book two forces are equal. So the net force is 0. So that is W minus N equal to 0, W equal to N. So in the horizontal direction, next to the horizontal direction, the speed of the book is changing continuously. Its speed is decreasing gradually. In the horizontal direction means that is the book has acceleration opposite to the direction of motion. Opposite to the direction of motion. So the book acquires some velocity. The book, when you push a book, the book having some velocity, that is acceleration. After some time the book gradually decreasing its speed, so that is a deceleration. So what are the forces acting on the book in the horizontal direction? What is the net force acting in the book in the horizontal direction? When the speed of the book moving in a straight line changing continuously, we can say that the body has acquired an acceleration. By close observation of this activity, we can understand that the floor applies a force on the book against its motion. Similarly, the book also applies the same amount of force on the floor in the opposite direction. Here it is clear that the floor is at rest. Hence, the net force acts in the direction of force applied by the floor on the book. So, the force applied by the floor on the book is called frictional force or friction. So, what is friction? What is friction, children? The force which opposes the relative motion of two surfaces of bodies in contact. One is floor, another one is book. Here one is book surface, another one is table surface. So here two surfaces relative. So the force which opposes the relative motion of two surfaces of bodies in contact. Two surfaces bodies, one is book surface, another one is table surfaces in contact. So is called a frictional force. Let us go to the activity. Lab activity. First of all, understanding the nature of friction and the concept of static friction. Material required: toy trolley, small wooden block, inexhaustible string, weight hanger, weights, pulley and table. So all of you children, look at this picture carefully. First of all, procedure: take a small toy trolley and keep a small wooden block on its as shown in given picture. Tie an inextensible string to the trolley and pass it over a pulley, and other end of the string is fixed to weight hanger. So here toy trolley and a small wooden block. Inextensible string means elastic type. Extensible string means elastic type. This type of string is not suitable for this activity. So we take inextensible string. Inextensible string does not type of elastic type. So in this activity we take inextensible string. Okay. So first of all, take a small toy trolley and keep a small wooden block on it as shown in picture. Tie an inextensible string to the trolley and pass it over a pulley, and other end of the string is fixed to weight hanger. Weight hanger. In this weight hanger, we have to keep some weights, 100, 200, 150, 250, 300. So that is weights. Take a small weight and keep it on a weight hanger and observe the changes in motion of a block and trolley. So what happens to the position of the block kept on the trolley? Does it fall or move along with the trolley? What changes occur in the motion of trolley and block? You will observe, children, carefully. The trolley with the block on it moves towards left. See the picture, towards left. A trolley with the block on it moves towards left with an acceleration. Acceleration means the rate of change of velocity. Here the trolley having some speed, some velocity. So trolley plays in changing. So this is trolley and block having some acceleration towards left. So the block is at rest with respect to the surface of the trolley, but it is in motion with respect to the surface of a table. The block is at rest with respect to the surface of toy trolley, but it is in motion with respect to the surface of the table. So now keep on increasing the weights on the weight hanger. Observe the motion of the both trolley and block. What do we observe? Now increasing the weight hanger. Weights on the weight hanger. Observe the motion of both trolley and block. The surface of the trolley tries to keep the block at rest here with respect to its surface. Thus the force of friction by the surface of the trolley acts on the block in the direction of motion. At the same time, the block also applies a force on the trolley in opposite direction and it tries to move towards the right. See the picture, towards the right, the direction of friction on the block. We can increase the trolley's acceleration by increasing the weights on the hanger. If we increase the acceleration of trolley gradually at certain limiting acceleration or limiting weight, the block comes into motion in the reverse direction. This means that now there exists relative motion between the surface of the trolleys and the block. So what happens when the experiment is repeating by using rock and iron blocks of the same mass and different masses? Does the limiting weight change? If so, why? Apply some grease to the bottom of the wooden block and keep it on the toy trolley surface and do the same experiment. What happens to the limiting weight? What should we do to increase the limiting weight? From the above activities, we may define friction as follows. The force which opposes the relative motion of two surfaces of bodies in contact is called frictional force. In activity 1, the book moves with respect to the floor. So this friction is called sliding friction. Book moves with respect to the floor. So this type of friction we called sliding friction. Sliding friction is the friction which comes into play when the surface of one object moves related to the surface of another object. Okay. Next, in the lab activity, the block is at rest related to the surface of the trolley up to a certain limiting acceleration. The friction exists at this stage is a static friction. So, static friction is the friction which comes into play when surfaces of the objects are at rest relative to each other. So, in the above activity, we observe that there exists two types of frictional forces at a time. In this lab activity, one is sliding friction between surface of the table and trolley, and the other is the static friction that exists between the surface of trolley and wooden block kept on it. So in this lab activity, two types of frictional force acting on it. One is sliding friction, another one is static friction. So next let us go to the activity 2, observing the variation of friction. First of all, children push a heavy box which is kept on a floor with a small force to move horizontally as shown in the given picture. The box does not move because there is a frictional force which is equal and opposite to the applied force on the box. So see the children picture pushing a heavy box with a small force. Now gradually increase this applied force. The box still does not move because the frictional force also increases accordingly and thus balances the increased applied force. From these experiments, we conclude that static friction is a self-adjusting force. First of all, we applying some force only, so the box does not move. In the next time, pushing a heavy box with an increasing force. Next time, you will increasing your force, but the box does not move. And third time, but there is a limit to this static friction. As you keep on increasing the applied force, at some point the box start moving. That is, when the applied force is more than the limit of static friction, the body starts to move as shown in given picture. So first of all, you increasing some small force, the box does not move. Next time you increasing your force, the box also does not move. And third time you increasing your applied force, at some point the box start moving. So what static friction is a self-adjusting force.